Hello to you all, Mr. Currie here. A warm welcome to the first assembly of 2021. I hope you're safe and well, whether you're at home or at school. This certainly wasn't the start to 2021 that we all had in mind, but I do know that if we follow our core values, especially perseverance, so we all work together, and support, so that we support each other, that we can get through this and that we'll be back in school learning together in no time at all. We're going to start our assembly by refreshing our memories about our rainbow rules. So here they are. Remember the importance of following these rules both at home and at school. Two rules in particular that I want to just remind you of. The first one is the red rule. We respect all members of our community. And I think that's really important, particularly given that at the moment we're at home a lot more, and sometimes it's difficult to show respect to people that we're around all the time. Okay, but you need to listen carefully to your adults at home and you need to show them respect. The other one that I want to just highlight is we work hard. Now that's what we do at Southborough. We work hard. Okay, we all work hard, adults, children, parents, and I know that you all are trying your best. Keep trying your best. Keep working hard with your learning. Try to ignore those distractions at home. Okay, I now want to share with you a special present that I got for Christmas. This rainbow tie. Okay, I'm really proud to wear this rainbow tie, and I thought that all the time that I'm wearing this tie, it would remind me to follow those rainbow rules. Now, we haven't forgotten about dojos either. Okay, so if you do follow those rainbow rules and you complete your home learning, then for every piece of home learning that you complete, whether you submit it, whether you do work on Lexia, Times Table Rockstars, Mathletics, whether you do the work on Google Classroom, whatever you do, you will get a dojo, and you can continue to build those dojos towards your personal prize and your class prize. There we go. Okay, I now want to introduce you to the theme of our assemblies for this term. And here it is, celebrating differences. Okay, this term is all about us celebrating differences. Here are some of the things that we're going to talk about this term to develop our understanding of celebrating differences. The first, being special and unique. There's only one of you, and celebrating differences is all about celebrating how we are each unique. Challenging assumptions. Assumptions are when we think something is true when actually it might not be. Racism. So not being unkind to somebody because of their skin color or because of their beliefs or because of their culture. It's a type of prejudice. That's a type of discrimination. Okay, so prejudice and discrimination are also on there because we'll be looking at those as well. A huge part of celebrating difference is about celebrating different cultures and what different cultures bring, okay, and what different customs are celebrated in different cultures. And finally, about being able to be kind and give compliments that are particularly focused on how amazing it is that we are all different, and that's something to be celebrated. Okay, so I'm going to read a story now that I love reading to my children at home. It's called The Smeds and the Smooths, and I think that this story really highlights the importance of celebrating difference and what we can get from just taking the time to understand and learn about other people's differences. Here we go. By a lubular lake on a far off planet, there lived a young Smed, and her name was Janet. Not far away, on a Humplety hill, there lived a young Smoo by the name of Bill. Janet, like all the Smeds, was red, and this is what her grandfather said. Never, never play with the Smoos. They sleep in holes, they wear strange shoes. They jump about like kangaroos. Never, never play with the Smoos. Bill, like the other Smoos, was blue, and these were the words of Grandmother Smoo. Never, never play with the Smeds. They have strange hair upon their heads. They sleep in funny things called beds. Never, never play with the Smeds. The Smeds on their lake liked nothing better than splashing about, getting wetter and wetter. But Janet grew bored with this watery play, and early one morning she tiptoed away. The Smoos jumped about on their Humplety hill. They bounced up and down and never stood still. But Bill was beginning to think, this is boring. So early one morning he set off exploring. Janet met Bill in the Wurtpiller Wood, where the trockles grew tall and the glompoms looked good. The two rubbed antennae and played all day long. She told him a story, he sang her a song. Then they climbed to the top of a gerbery coot and nibbled its juicy and jellyful fruit. Till who should disturb them but Grandfather Smed, shaking his fist as he angrily said, Never, never play with a Smoo. They're such a nasty shade of blue. For the 100th time I say to you, never, never play with a Smoo. Grandmother Smoo was close behind, and this is how she spoke her mind. Never, never play with a Smed. They're such a dreadful shade of red. I'll say again what I've always said. Never, never play with a Smed. Years went by on the far-off planet. Janet missed Bill and Bill missed Janet. But off they crept whenever they could to sing and play in the Wurtpiller Wood. The two of them grew and decided to wed. But what do you think their grandparents said? Never, never marry a Smoo. They're a beastly bunch. They're a crazy crew. They drink black tea. They eat green stew. Never, never play with a Smoo. Never, never marry a Smed. My dearest child, are you off your head? They drink pink milk. They eat brown bread. Never, never marry a Smed. Janet and Bill stole out that night while their families slept and the squoon shone bright. They clambered into the Smed's red rocket. Grandfather Smed had forgotten to lock it. Bill pressed the button and Janet steered. When their families woke, they both disappeared. The Smed said, Your Bill must have stolen our Janet and taken her off to a distant planet. The Smoos said, It's Janet who's stolen our Bill and lured him away from the Humplety hill. The Smoos climbed into their rocket of blue and they said to the Smeds, You'd better come too. Suspicious and scowling, they soared into space till they reached planet Vumjum, a dry, dusty place. The Vums had long arms which they waved in the air, but they didn't have news of the runaway pair. The next stop was Lurgelstrop, covered in roses and watered by beasts with small eyes and long noses. They touched down on Grimpeltosh, coated in grime. They searched planet Glurch, and found nothing but slime. One morning the Smoos found they'd run out of tea, so the Smeds shared their milk, which was pink as could be. Then Grandfather Smed said, "My hair needs a trim," and Grandmother Smoo kindly cut it for him. They landed on Skloop, where the Scloopies wore kilts, then flew to Klaboo, where the Clabs walked on stilts. They searched all year long, then they searched longer still. But they didn't find Janet, they didn't find Bill. "Alas," said the Smoos, and the Smeds said, "Alack, we have fouled in our quest, we'd better turn back." So they turned and flew home to their very own planet, and far down below them they saw Bill and Janet. The rocket touched down, and they ran to the wood where the truffles grew tall and the glompoms smelled good. And there in a glade by the rocket of red were the runaway Smoo and the runaway Smed. They'd got lost and flown home again, only to find that all of the others had left them behind. There was joy, jam and jumping. Then Janet said, "Maybe you'd like to make friends with our dear little baby." A baby, a red one, a blue one, but no, that baby was purple from head to toe. They all hugged the Smoo Smed, their new baby brother, and Grandpa and Gran even hugged one another. They laughed and they splashed and they danced with delight, and they played with that baby from morning till night. They made him a rattle, they made him a flute, they fed him fruit of the gerbery coot. Then they sang by the light of the silvery scroon, and you can sing too if you make up a tune. Play with the Smeds and play with the Smoos, play with whichever friends you choose. Then close your eyes and while you snooze, dream of the Smeds and dream of the Smoos. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. And I hope that you didn't think that my singing at the end was too awful. Okay, so not only do I think that that story is quite funny, it also has a really important message. At the beginning of the story, Janet and Bill's families didn't want them to go anywhere near each other. They were scared and unsure of their differences. The different skin colour, one was blue, one was red. Where they came from, but they both came from different places. The fact that one liked black tea, the other liked pink milk, they found that unusual of each other. And because they didn't know about the other culture and they'd never asked, they assumed that the other group were to be feared and not to go anywhere near. Okay? I think that this story just shows us that first impressions aren't always right. They got together in the end, they celebrated their differences, and they became one big happy family. What message do you think that this story teaches us? Okay, to finish, I want to introduce you to a special word, unique. And this is a word that we need to be thinking about all the way through when we're thinking about differences and how we're going to celebrate them. Around the outside of this slide, you can see some words, all of which are synonyms of unique. That means that they're words that mean a similar or the same thing. So, unique is really about being one of a kind. You're all unique. There's only one of you. You're all different. You're all special. And you're all exclusive. And that's amazing. And that is definitely something to celebrate. Don't you think? Be boring, wouldn't it, if we were all the same? if we all liked the same things and we all did the same things and we all looked the same, how would we tell each other apart? So no, this is amazing. We're all unique. We're all different. So I've got an activity that I'd like as many people, including adults, to do, whether they are at home or at school. And this activity will help you to think about all of the different ways that you're unique. So we're going to create a Southborough Hall of Fame, and you're going to contribute something to this Hall of Fame so that we can gradually build this up to represent Southborough's unique face. So you're all going to do something. The adults in school are going to do something as well to build up this Hall of Fame. Hopefully, by the end of term, we'd have built up lots of contributions to our Hall of Fame so that we can see the unique face of Southborough and how amazing that is. So I've done one as an example. So there's me in the middle there with my little boy, and around the outside I've just put some things that make me me. Okay, now on their own, these things are not unique. Other people have green eyes, other people enjoy music, but together these different things make me unique. They make Mr. Currie Mr. Currie. Maybe I should put I enjoy wearing colourful ties as well. I hadn't thought of that one, but I might add that one in. Okay, so this is one example. You can do whatever you want as yours. You can do something similar to me. You could produce a video, some artwork, some writing. You may have some really creative, bubbling ideas that you want to share. Okay, feel free. This is your task. Okay, so once you've done it and you've got the whole term to do it, how are you going to submit it? Okay, I've added you to a special Google Classroom, which is called the Southborough Unique Hall of Fame. You can follow this link to take you there, or you can go in through your Google Classroom and you'll see that you have been assigned to that classroom. Okay, this is a special place to upload photos of your work. Okay, and if you upload something, then you will get a comment and feedback, and I'll have a look at them and let you know what I think. And these can be put together in a big Hall of Fame that we will be able to all see when we return to school. Okay, so that's the way that you submit your work. Okay, I cannot wait to read and get to know all of the unique faces of Southborough and how they together make a really unique school community. Okay, so that's it from me. Thank you so much for listening. Stay safe, everybody, and I look forward to seeing you all back in school really soon. Take care.